The purpose of this weekend is to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the founding of the Gates Cambridge Trust.
Congratulations on 10 years of the Gates Cambridge Scholarship.
The first group of Gates scholars came in 2001. So we wanted to celebrate that milestone.
It's a real thrill to be here celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Gates Trust, and to see scholars of today's Cambridge and returning scholars creating this remarkable community.
The university received this benefaction in the autumn of 2000, and we made the first selection of students to come to Cambridge in 2001.
The last 10 years of the scholarship, what has it achieved? I mean, you look around you and the scholars themselves are absolutely amazing.
You enrich Cambridge, you enliven Cambridge by your presence here.
It's both your quality and your accomplishments that have made this program such a success, because the program's all about you.
You're people who will be able, by taking leadership roles and commitments and using all your good character and skills to the highest possible level. And you will be able to do this in 1,001, 1,000,001 ways.
The planning for this event started about 2 years ago. Several of us were very conscious that the 10th anniversary was going to be a pivotal point.
It was a sort of an unknown, you know, we're 10 years old. It's the first time we've had a big event like this with alumni and scholars.
The Alumni Association in particular saw this as a key way of solidifying what we were doing, solidifying the community, and kind of launching it into the next decade of its life.
So it seemed a good idea to invite people back to see what they'd been doing since they were in Cambridge, and also to provide an opportunity to think about how the scholarship program had worked out.
It's been a huge opportunity coming from Australia. I guess the chance to travel across the world and come to a top quality university has really given me a great opportunity to expand academically, working with some of the top people in my field, but more so connecting with a network of people who've come from all over the world to this place.
You know, honestly, living in the UK, and especially in Cambridge, not just a UK city, but a very international city, and getting to just interact with a network of Cambridge scholars and Gates scholars from all around the world has certainly opened up my worldview.
I think it changed my life in the way that it allowed me to continue with my study and to do a PhD. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to continue with a PhD.
When I started my schooling in a very small Tamil medium school in South India, if somebody had asked me what are the odds of me going to Cambridge and Harvard, I would have said the odds are 0. Clearly, I would not have been able to study here without the Gates scholarships.
When we select these scholars, we look for people who accept that they have a responsibility to use their education for wider social purposes.
So there's a growing belief that commercial profits can go hand in hand with social, economic, and environmental benefits.
In particular, to use their education to address problems of equity in society at large.
Is that as Gates scholars, we took our lead from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and from the Gates Cambridge Trust. The foundation was thinking big when it created this scholarship, bringing the best and brightest students from all over the world to Cambridge to benefit from a world-class education.
The scholarship expects and provides this opportunity to interact with people in disciplines as disparate as art, as sociology, the humanities, and other sciences, and say, there's a greater world out there, and you have a specialized skill. Step out from that and look at these big problems and just make a contribution.
And the philanthropic and public interest angle is very important to a large number of Gates scholars, and is indeed one of the reasons that someone becomes a Gates scholar, is because they care about these problems.
There's a very sort of strong element in it that there are a lot of things in the world that need putting right.
What you need is an inbuilt sort of desire to change the society, and the Gates Scholarship provides you the necessary direction and the funding to help you achieve that.
Getting people working on such completely different technical problems, but with the same aim to improve the world in the same place, talking to each other, that we try and do as a council.
They seem to be people who really want to make a difference in the world. And that drive to want to make a difference tells me, firstly, that the selection committee for Gates Scholars is doing a good job.
Reassuring is that one's beginning to see quite a lot of people on graduation going off and doing quite interesting things that I think cumulatively will have a major impact.
We're at a stage now where it's still very young, 10 years, we're not even a teenager yet, we don't even have the adolescent phase yet. We're just figuring it all out. And I think what's interesting is that within that, there's still people that are coming to this event, say from Australia or America or Malaysia, who are coming here because they really want to come back to Cambridge and reconnect with people. And, 350 Gates Scholars alumni and their guests have done that this weekend.
I came to Cambridge 7 years ago, and the trust was in its infancy. And one of the great privileges of these years has been to watch the scholarship program just grow and grow.
So right from the start, we saw the need for, when people left Cambridge, that there was something to continue the community. You had all of these people who had been interacting, who saw themselves as a community, and we didn't want that community to end when they left Cambridge. It needed to be something continuous, something much bigger than that.
We all know that the purpose of the Gates Scholarship Program is not simply for your individual sort of advancement or indeed for the betterment of Cambridge. It's that somewhere out of all of this, there is a global community created of people of great talent and high ambition to make the world a better place.
The scholarship has become a community, and that wasn't a guarantee from day one.
The panels were totally integral. There was a really nice mix of intellectual stimulation and social interaction. I think that was what made the weekend really work.
The panel discussion that we have today is on a subject that is aligned with the Gates Cambridge scholarships.
The Gates Cambridge Scholarship is diverse. It's not a single discipline. We're not all computer scientists. We're not social scientists. We're not doctors. We're from every discipline. So we wanted panels first that reflected that diversity, that had wide appeal. And then when we were looking at what kind of topics, we also wanted panels that kind of reflected the values of the scholarship.
As we pursue business activity and economic gains, we also have the potential to harm society.
At the moment, if the whole world consumed in the way we do, in industrialized countries, we'd need 3 planets.
International law has got to a stage where it says, well, forget about this self-determination issue, it's closed. Okay? So now it says, self-determination involves rights A, B, or C, except you can't choose A and B.
The story on the human genome has been a fantastic success. You have all these medical, particularly, sort of monogenic diseases, recessive and dominant. They are now part of the woodwork.
This is one of many cases where language and nationality and issues of government and politics collide.
I think we're going to need fossil fuels for decades to come, and I think we need to start to use fossil fuels more cleanly.
But if you get in your hand a papyrus or a coin for which there is no provenance, you cannot put it in the American Journal of Archaeology.
But of course, I think right now the media is in a huge state of transition. I can speak from my own experience. I just took voluntary redundancy in The Guardian in March.
At OneWorld over the past 15 years, we've tried to build on these advantages of the new media to focus and to bring together and aggregate the work of civil society campaigns for global justice.
We had people talking about corporate social responsibility. We had people talking about the arts and the nation. I mean, everything in between. And what was, I think, really made the panels was that the panelists did their presentations or their talks, but what was really fascinating were the questions from the scholars and the alumni afterwards. It totally showed that they were engaged with the subjects.
I think the weekend's gone very well indeed. I think talking to people who are part of the foundation has been enjoyable, and they've asked very, very good questions.
And the question is, what is the room for social values in modernity?
And I think certainly the panel that I look at, and this panel I think did that, and from my brief look at the program, many of the panels are tackling that question.
The idea of having these meetings where you have a mixture of practical advice, but also life stories from people who've been successful in similar areas, a very, very good idea.
And marrying the worlds of science, business, policy will make the Gates Scholars Alumni a growingly important force for the good in the future.
I mean, I think the sheer brain power in the room is astonishing, and to see that applied to some really social problems as opposed to commercial ones, I think is terrific as part of the Gates philosophy.
Most of the activities that are going on this weekend, there are alumni and scholars.
We're really going to the next dimension of letting current scholars learn from alumni who are out doing different things in the world.
This element of the Gates, the alumni in the meeting, creates, a transparent network alongside dozens of other networks. Very valuable.
There are 800 people here I can turn to and say, I've got this fantastic idea. Give me your input. Tell me what you think. Can it happen? Do you want to work with me on the issue? Do you want to help me address it? That's invaluable, and it's something you can't get through very many other mechanisms. It's something very, very unique.
But it will also help them to work as an alliance, in other words, to benefit from each other's skills, because they represent such a broad spectrum of different skills and aptitudes.
Bringing together alumni who are already out there, who are accomplishing a lot, together with current scholars as just a huge networking opportunity to get more power, more people behind these various problems that we need to tackle.
It's almost like putting an army out there of people who are constantly promoting the values of the scholarship and the values of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
This group can go out into the world and really make changes because they have access to the halls of power.
I'll come back in 10 years and I'm absolutely confident that this thing will have grown into something even more remarkable than it is now.
There is such potential here. There is such a power of doing good here. There is such excitement, I think, in seeing how the alumni network can develop, that I'm sure that Bill and Melinda, 20 or 30 years down the road, will be able to say this was a very wise thing that they did in 2000.